สวัสดีครับ Greetings from Bangkok. Kasit Piromya once again during the second week of the month of October 2025. The past few days we have heard about the announcement on the recipient of the Nobel awards or prizes in literature, in chemistry, in physics, in medicine, and the latest so far was the prize, the Peace Prize, which was being given to a female Venezuelan activist and politician. I think we have to rejoice with her for the fact that she has been struggling for human rights, for freedom, for democracy on behalf of the Venezuelan people. The past few years her life has been quite traumatic. She has to play hide and seek with the authoritarian Venezuelan authorities. But now the world has recognized her perseverance, her resilience, her courage by awarding her with a Nobel Peace Prize. Our heartfelt congratulations to her and wish her further success. But I would like also to recall that there have been a couple of candidates for the Peace Prize. One of them is the current President of the United States, President Donald Trump, who has not been timid or shy in pronouncing to the world at large that he would like to be the President of the United States as a peacemaker. He would like to bring peace for the world at large. And he has been doing some work with some progress, like bringing various countries with bilateral conflicts to the negotiating tables and to stop the armed confrontation and posturing. A couple of examples: the conflict between Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo, the conflict between Pakistan and India, and the conflict between the Kingdom of Thailand and the Kingdom of Cambodia. President Donald Trump was able to speak of the leaders of these countries and several more to be able to persuade them to get away from the battlefield and return to the negotiating table. And his latest achievements that must be praised by the international community is his 20 points plan or roadmap for peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians, for a peaceful coexistence, which will start step by step, like ceasefire, exchange of prisoners, open access and channel for humanitarian assistance, medicine, food, and water, and a sort of a interim administration for the Gaza Strip that would eventually lead to the creation of the Palestine nation state by the side of the Israeli nation state. And things so far have been moving along smoothly, giving so much of optimism and hope to the peoples in the Middle East and to the international community at large. However, President Donald Trump cannot stop at this one particular achievement. I would like to ask all of us to urge President Donald Trump to come out with a peace plan or a roadmap for the Ukrainians and for the Russians, for the Pakistanis and the Indians, for the Chinese on the mainland as well as the Chinese on the island of Taiwan, and for the two Koreans, the North and the South Korean, to come to the negotiating table. Stop armed confrontation. Stop undermining each other and so on. So these are the couple of hot issues that President Donald Trump, having had the experience of trying to bring about peace in the Middle East, especially the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis, that he would use his experiences, his intellectual capacity, and the power of the United States to come out with a series of roadmaps for Ukraine and Russia, Pakistan and India, Taiwan and the China mainland, the two Koreans, and so on. And hopefully that President Donald Trump will keep up his stamina, and surely what he wishes to earn, namely the Nobel Peace Prize, would not be out of reach. But he has to work in a continuous manner, and he has to work very hard indeed. And this is incumbent on all of us, the international community, to give President Donald Trump and the United States of America the necessary moral support, or even to make certain recommendations, or to help President Donald Trump in convincing the various antagonists for them to mellow down. A lot of us are friends of both Pakistan and India. A lot of us are friends of the Taiwanese and the Chinese on the mainland. A lot of us are friends of the two Koreans and so on. So we can pass words to those antagonists for them to take a stock back, to think about peaceful coexistence, and to work as much as possible with the United States, with President Donald Trump, especially as the United States is a permanent member of the UN Security Council. And let's wish President Donald Trump for his future successes and eventually becoming a recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ